A little bit about me, just to get that out of the way. My name is Anders de Mont-Thygesen. I am born and raised in Aalborg, but have tried my whole life to escape the city. It hasn't worked, so now I'm back. And I'm happy to be back. I'll get into that later. I have a bachelor's degree in philosophy from Aarhus University, and I have a master degree in development and international relations from Aalborg University. I have been employed in the city of Aalborg since 2011, and first I was head of the Aalborg Commitments Secretariat, and since 2013 I have been a sustainability consultant at the Center for Green Transition, where I am in charge of several projects aimed at pushing the green agenda. Yeah. Aalborg is a city, the fourth biggest city in Denmark, and it's the main city of Aalborg municipality, which is the third biggest municipality in Denmark. And this is just to show you a little bit our location. I myself living north of the fjord, as you can see. The fjord is the big line there going through the middle, and as of this morning, I am a part of an area that is in lockdown. Just a little curiosity. So Aalborg basically, like so many cities have a very heavy industrial past, and it has since the 70s gone through slowly a transition. You see on the top left corner the harbor area, which was a very polluted, very busy, hectic, at night probably a bit scary area of the city. It has gone through a very big transition to become an area where a lot of people hang out, a lot of activity, a lot of green areas, a lot of culture as well. We have in the top right corner a new view of the city. To the far left, you will see a new musical house. We have a university in the middle and a big museum on the far right. So it has gone through a very wonderful transition, so to speak, to become more knowledge-based and be a cultural city. This is also a very important year for Aalborg, 1974. This is the year that Aalborg University was born. This was the first step towards really pushing Aalborg in a different direction, so to speak. And the university's role I will come in on again. Sustainability has been a part of our DNA, if you can say that. It's been a part of the Aalborg story since 1994. We were lucky enough to be invited by ICLEI, a big European organization that works with sustainability, to host the first European conference for sustainable cities and towns back in 1994. This was the year that 2 years after the Rio Declaration, the European cities decided to get together and come up with the European cities' answer to this, and that was the Aalborg Charter, and that kind of really set the tone in Aalborg, because now our name was on a document that basically said that this is very important. 10 years after that, again 2 years after the UN had the Johannesburg meeting, the cities again, this time for the fourth European Cities and Towns conference, met up again in Aalborg to agree upon the so-called Aalborg commitments, which is more of a tool for cities on how to locate where they need to focus their efforts on sustainability. Basically a blueprint that you put over your city, and then you start working where you see gaps. Again, in 2016, European cities met in this ICLE group, this time in Bilbao, to agree upon this transformative actions, or the Basque Declaration, which is going a step further even more to say there are a lot of just kind of like what's happening here today, basically to take all the good practices, all the good ideas, to all the success stories, and share them and share the people behind them, so that no one has to invent the deep plate again. So this is something that we're very proud of being a part of, and that we will continue being a part of. We just met online, of course, so we weren't in Mannheim, but we were supposed to be in Mannheim for the ninth meeting in this consortium of cities in the end of September. A meeting where we discussed the new Green Deal and came up with the city's response to that. So yeah. More taking down locally, we have since the beginning in 1994, where we really got sustainability on the agenda in Aalborg, have been working on how to roll it out in our municipality. We've been making sustainability strategies this whole time. It is a strategy that has been in the beginning very focused on the environment, the green, so to speak, but has moved more and more into being very much, as it says here, a holistic and a lot more inclusive approach, not only dealing with the municipality as an organization, as a business, but also everyone involved in it. So it has moved from being something that we put in a strategy and that may not be read by that many outside the municipal walls, to be something that is done and written and agreed upon in a broader section, a lot more with NGOs, educational institutions and businesses. So it's a very important document that connects us all and makes sure that everyone is on board, basically. The last one here that says 20 to 24 is actually not approved yet. It's still kind of been, let's blame it on COVID-19. It's been a little bit delayed because of that, but it will be out very shortly. So now I'm going to focus on where I am at. I am currently working with the Center for Green Transition. As it said in one of the first slides, I've been at the center since 2013, where we were officially born. The idea of the center is basically to take the whole talk of sustainability, the whole movement of sustainability out to everyone. And it is to take all the good ideas that are out amongst the citizens and make them more easily feasible. The focus, of course, is on creating good ideas together. It is on the partnerships. We want to engage everyone. We want to engage them so that we ensure that there are this idea of ownership in the projects, so that we can basically help get it set up and then step slightly back. That's the idea. But of course, it's connected to all the sustainability strategies, all the other plans and strategies that we have in our city, in our municipality. So it's basically making them, all the ideas, all the plans, strategies become a lot more realistic by having someone else to give them life, basically. We are also in charge of coordinating across sectors, not only inside the municipality, where Aalborg municipality is divided up into 7 departments. So making all the departments kind of in line. It's also the coordination with the businesses, etc., etc. And communication and dialogue is a key factor that we focus on, of course, and then fundraising, trying to help to raise external funds to make sure that the projects happen. These are some examples of projects that I'll quickly run through. First of all, we have the focus on businesses. Our key focus is the Network for Sustainable Business Development, which is something that has really been a huge success in our municipality. It started again back in the 2012-13 as an idea, basically to an add-on to the work that we're already doing out in the businesses, where we have this authority function. We have to go out to the companies, the production companies, the industry, to make sure that they adhere to the different environmental rules that are set up. And that is something that we by law have to do. But as long as we're out there, we have kind of figured out why not then look into not only how the companies are making sure that they abide the rules, but how to make them even better, even more sustainable, how they can optimize a lot of their things. So we set up a partnership with the business consultants in our municipality and with the university, other municipalities, etc. And then we basically screen them for sustainability efforts and help them make sustainable business models for the company. And it's been a huge success. It started with Aalborg, and then it became a partnership between Aalborg and a different municipality in the northern region of Denmark. And now all 11 municipalities in the region are a part of it, and nearly 200 companies, big and small SMEs, are involved. So that has been a very huge success, and it's still going strong right now. The Network for Green Retail is obviously aimed at the smaller shops, businesses in our walking streets and elsewhere. basically offering them the same. I get some noise here.
I think I'm probably doing something wrong.
Let me just
coming up with unable to still.
Mary Mc. I'm just gonna remove you from the screen here. I hope everyone's still kind of following along. I will jump back to the slideshow. Yeah, the green retailers, they basically get an offer the same way as our bigger businesses get of a sustainability screening, where we go through the shops and see not only how they can maximize their how they run it, but also how we can introduce more green products on their shelves. We have discussions on the sustainability goals, etc., etc. So that is also a big success in our municipality. A part of that was to make sure that those retailers were maximizing their waste recycling of waste. So we set up a small EU-funded project called Flex Skrald, loosely translated Flex Garbage, I guess, which is a project that obviously is to make sure that they pick up cardboard, paper, plastic, etc. In the shops that every day they drive these vehicles that are electrified. That means we get all the heavy transport out of the city, and the shops clear out their expensive square meters with stuff they don't need in there, and the people employed in this project are basically on the edge of the job market. So it's a socio-economical project basically, and it's been a huge success, and we've already sent first employees on to the next phase, and we're I've been told also getting a lot of recycling optimized. So it's been a big success as well. Then around the same time as the center was born, we decided to put a focus on communicating a bit better what we as a municipality were doing within the sustainability field towards our citizens. That was the plan in the beginning. We quickly saw that it was not only us as a municipality that wanted to showcase what we're doing on sustainability. A lot of other actors were really looking for somewhere that they could have this interaction as well. So me and a colleague invented this sustainability festival. We set off a week, and we're hoping to get maybe 2 events a day during that week, Saturday to Saturday. And the first year we ended up having 50 events across the municipality, which was quite overwhelming. And it was, I mean, I talked about our history as having the Aalborg Charter, as having the Aalborg commitments. We had all these ideas about sustainability. We had, however, been really, really bad at communicating them to our citizens. Now, I can say that because it was way before my time, so it wasn't my fault. But the idea with the Sustainability Festival was to have a discussion of, firstly, what is sustainability, but also showcase all the stuff that we were doing. So 50 different events on all kinds of sustainability themes the first year was done. Our role in this was basically, the idea was that we offered, I want to always use the analogy of the stage. Like we built the stage and we put forward all the chairs for the spectators. We tried to do our best in communicating and sharing the marketing of the festival, basically to get people to sit on the chairs. But whatever the different organizations, stuff like that, put on the stage was totally up to them, as long as it had this green thread to it. It had to be about sustainability. So that was a really big success from the get-go. The 8 years since the 7 other festivals that we've had, it has only grown. Last year we had around 250 different activities across the city. This week that we have the festival, of course, this year, which we decided was the last year of the festival, simply because it has done its job. It was, of course, a little different due to the COVID-19. So it was online, kind of like this, with a few things physically, but still we managed to get around, I think we had around 50 different activities across the city. So that was still quite successful. But the idea was to have a platform that we could talk about sustainability, meet different actors, and a lot of stuff has grown out of the festival, and a lot of interaction between our citizens has been done. We have gone from talking about what sustainability is to now we need to have action. We are already doing all these things. So that is a very important, it was a very important stage for us to reach our citizens, definitely. Another project that we started shortly after, I think it was in year 2, 3 after we were born as a center, is that we hired a green agent, the first in the country. We would like to say the first in the world, but we haven't fact checked that. And in these days of fact checking, I won't be held to that. But maybe it's the first green agent in the world. This is Zacharias, a good colleague of mine, and the whole idea of having a green agent was basically to make sure that, as it says here, and a quote from him, sustainable living should be easy for everyone. So we basically took the idea of the festival, of talking, meeting people, and made that an everyday project. And he was bombarded from the beginning with ideas to work on. So we've everything from looking at cities in the like 10 kilometers away from Aalborg and looking at how we can transport people more sustainably, to making sure that schools have the opportunity to grow their own food. All kinds of ideas have Zacharias have been helping kind of get started. And also he is kind of a guy that the citizens can go to in order to maneuver the maze municipality sometimes can be. So that has been a very, very big success. And now one of the key projects that we're working on right now is identifying we have a lot of housing associations in our city, and we're out there helping them to reach these 70% reduction targets, trying to set up, and they house thousands of citizens. So how do we not only make their energy greener, but how do we look at the different habits that you see in housing associations? How do we set up a sharing economy? How do we all these sharing cars and etc. How do we set these things up? That's kind of a job that we're managing. Of course, another aspect is that a lot of collaboration with the educational system, the schools, both the kindergartens, the younger ones, and then the older ones in the gymnasiums, etc., etc. We go in and we set up different projects. Relatively new project that we just started this year is called Youth Go Green, which is basically we have some of the companies that are involved in our sustainable business development that set up cases for the kids to work on. So how do we make these things more sustainable? And then the kids come with solutions, basically. So it's an idea of getting them interested in sustainability, but also getting them interested in technical subjects in school, basically. And again, that's something that is really, really been proved to be a very approach that a lot of the schools really, really want to be a part of. We have quite a few schools in our municipality that have something called the green flag, which is basically a flag that they get by having a sustainability strategy, having sustainability issues in their school agendas, etc., etc. And a couple of schools have even gone further and become sustainability developmental goals schools, directly translated. Besides these, the gymnasiums and the younger kids, we have, of course, a lot of collaboration with our university, both on EU projects and EU applications, etc., etc. But we also have something new that got started in Aalborg 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, called the Mega Projects, which is basically an approach to writing projects at the university that ensures that you're not just stuck in your own line, so to speak. This is where you have a big project that is like we have. One of them is it has to be easy to be sustainable in Aalborg. We have a focus on transport and other issues, and then they have to deliver holistic projects that kind of helps move forward in this agenda, and they have to include a lot more faculties than just their own. So it's really, really between different subjects, and it's been a huge success, and we've already gotten the first glimpse of what we have, and stuff are already being used by us actively. So it's really, really good. And besides our own festival, we are looking into how we can, of course, optimize festivals and different events that we hold in our city as well. And in the northern region of Denmark, we are looking at how to make these events and festivals a lot more sustainable. We've just received funding to look into that, and that's going to be a very interesting thing. I'll try and speed this up. Circular public procurement is, of course, another thing that we're looking at, another muscle that we can flex, so to speak. Again, this is where the biggest buyer in our municipality in the region. So we, of course, put up a lot of ideas of how to make this both sustainable but also circular. A main project that we had was school furniture, which was often replaced and then the old stuff was thrown out. We have been looking into how to reuse the old furniture and how to reuse it in a new way, so that it not only is sustainable, but it also enhances the possibility for it becomes more learning environments, basically, and the students themselves help kind of identify what type of furniture they want and what type of things that they are most comfortable doing while learning, like sitting this way and being in this way and et cetera, et cetera. So it's very interesting as well. And a lot of the tables are lined with leftover textiles from another local company, and then make sure that the noise from the tables and all that stuff is limited. So it's just to give you an example here. We also, as I said, are playing a big role internationally. We have our own platform together with ICLE and the Basque Country on Sustainable Cities platform. It's sustainablecities.eu if you want to see. There are a lot of different good cases from across Europe, transformative actions, that's they're called. And we have an annual award that we help give out. We're on the jury. And these are 3 former winners. This year's winner was Krakow from Poland. And they have, and I think you can hear more about Ghent's winning project if you enter their session next. The last thing is, again, we kind of move further and further. So we set up a big green hub, which is again a big collaboration, big partnership with a lot of different actors, basically to have a lot of testing of new technologies together with the university, et cetera, really, again, to put Aalborg on the map as a place where we put sustainability at the heart of how we do things. It's taken a while to get to that fact, but now it is definitely the way we do it. And it leads me to the conclusion that I think we heard Mike Robinson say that change takes leadership, and that is definitely true. It takes really dedicated leaders, politicians to get it into the city. But you just have to remember that the key is to set long-term goals. Not have them be a part of these political periods or budgetary periods. You have to allow yourself to think longer than that, otherwise it won't be successful. Then you have to set ambitious goals, but also realistic goals, and you have to set the goals in collaboration, in partnership with as many actors as possible. And then I was reminded of a quote that the winner from one of the Transformative Actions Awards cities shared when they won the award, and it was that change takes time, but it doesn't have to take that much time. And I think that was where I wanted to stop, and I hope you're all still with me. Trying to get back here. And I can see we at least have 14 people left. So if you have any questions or etc., then you're welcome to share them with me. Let me see here. I hope that everyone was actually able to hear me and I didn't just talk. At least someone says thank you, thank you. Denise, read it. Am I supposed to?
Yeah. Oh, there I am.
I hope that this.
Thank you, thank you. Anders, I wanted to ask you a wee bit more about the green agents that you mentioned, because that seemed like that was going to help really push things forward. And you talked quite a lot there about waste and energy conservation, waste management. And I wondered whether the housing associations, did the green agents do anything there about improving green space and access to green space?
I would have to say no, because the housing associations themselves were actually taking the lead there.
Okay.
So they were really focused on it. What we helped on there was, of course, looking at different ideas on how to improve it or how to diversify it, so to speak. So one thing was, of course, putting up different areas where you can actually grow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Small kitchen gardens for the citizens. And it's also setting up something so interesting as cow grazing opportunities, where you have cows walking around in your green areas, and you help basically you help raise them, and you help all these things, move them from different parts of the green areas, and then you divide the meat afterwards. Holistic grazing, I think it's called.
Okay.
So it was, of course, coming up with ideas on how to use the green areas that was in focus, as well as then looking at how to increase biodiversity, etc.
Okay. Thank you very much. Not sure we're ready for cows and sheep on the inches, but yes, thank you. I'll try and leave now.
I think I will do that with that, and then I will see if we have nothing happened there. We'll try and do with that one. No. Well, people are slowly leaving the session. I don't know if you have any more questions. Otherwise, I would say thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of it. Yeah, to your comment there, Barry, it has been really, really impactful to work with the housing associations, and also see the communities that evolve through it. We've seen housing associations basically be empty of interaction between inhabitants there, and that has transformed quickly to becoming, we have our own, we've set up different projects and kind of recycle stations and workshops where you can help each other fix up stuff that is being broken, etc., etc. So it's pushed a lot more community in those areas. Yeah, Barry. Yeah, that was you, Barry.
Thanks.
So yeah,
I don't know if you can hear me at all. I think
I can.
Great. Yeah. No, we've got a great. I work for an organisation called Keep Scotland Beautiful. And we have this genuinely impactful project with a housing group based in Glasgow predominantly, although that's growing out. And it just, this is a building on your positive presentation. It's been really impactful for the tenants, but I think also in terms of winning the confidence of the people involved in the housing group. Obviously the leadership was there to look at this as an issue, but building the confidence of the whole organisation. And fundamentally, I think there's just something there about actually genuinely changing people's lives. Sometimes stuff around the environment can be a bit abstract, and I mean that kindly, but I think when we're seeing the improvement in people's lives at a very, very local level or surrounding their homes, I think what you see then is the buy-in, and I wonder if you had any comment to make there.
Well, definitely, and what when I've been talking to the managers or the people in charge of these different housing associations, they have seen a lot more interaction with their citizens or inhabitants, and a lot more positive interactions, and they've seen a totally new level of commitment and wanting to contribute positively to the areas they live in. So almost have seen happier inhabitants there, and I think it's definitely true. And it, in a sense, I think what matters more to them is that they get some room to meet each other more than it's not necessarily for them alone a matter of making it clear that it's sustainability issues. That's a side story that's good to share, but there are other aspects of this work that are even more important, I feel.
Really enjoyed that.
Thank you. Yeah, the festival, as Wendy Steenberg says, is really something that has been a huge success for us, and that has pushed the interaction we have with our citizens on sustainability to record levels. And it's a great way to not only showcase what we're doing, but also to see what others are doing. And we actually met organizations that we had never heard about before. We met companies with ideas, like new companies, innovation ideas that we had never thought about before, and all of a sudden we could see we could connect people who then created totally new, fresh companies and ideas. So it was a big opportunity for us, definitely. Well, I appreciate everyone listening in. I hope you got something out of it. I definitely enjoyed telling you the story, and I wish you success, all the success in the world in making Perth the most sustainable small city in Europe. We would love to meet you down the line.